Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is the 13th of June. It is a Monday. And today is a big day for advocates of obviously the freeing the Rohingya people. And today is Black for Rohingya. Let's talk to advocate Shabnam Mayet about why this day is important, why people all around the world who are calling for the freedom of the Rohingya people should be wearing black. What does that signify? Advocate Shabnam Mayet, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the program. Nice to talk with you once again.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much for having me on the show this morning.
Okay, a big day, Black for Rohingya. Before we get there, Shabnam, just for the benefit of people who haven't been following the plight of the Rohingya people, give us a brief historical background as to why these people find themselves in such a dire situation.
Okay, so I think it's important for listeners to know that, or just to remind themselves that the Rohingya have been in Arakan state for at least 800 years, and since the late 70s, they've been experiencing all sorts of discrimination and apartheid at the hands of the government. And there were various bouts of violence where Rohingya were forced to flee their land. They were subject to all sorts of collective punishment, arbitrary arrests. They were not allowed to own land. They were not allowed access to education. That was secondary and tertiary. And life was a real struggle and continues to be that for the Rohingya. Of course, everything blew up in the news with the genocide in 2017, and that's when most people began to understand more about the plight of the Rohingya, and that's also when a million Rohingya were forced to flee to Bangladesh because of the military's sheer brutality that they were perpetrating against a civilian population, and that's the first time for me that I heard about rape to death being used by a military, as well as everyone will remember like the really brutal details of children being thrown into to burning fires and homes being set alight and the loss of 300 villages, and that's basically when we all really started to take note. And who can forget those images of lines and lines of Rohingya standing, trying to get into to Bangladesh in 2017. So that's basically where we're heading, and then where we're heading from. And then, of course, now with a million Rohingya living in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh, the world's biggest refugee camp, and also 600 those who still remain in Arakan state, 120,000 of those, if not more, still living in the same it's internally displaced people's camps that they were forced into in 2012, which very much have concentration camp-like conditions.
Okay, can you hear me? Because I just seem to have lost you there for a minute, Shabnam.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. So, inshallah, let's proceed. The Rohingya are known as the world's most persecuted minority and have suffered decades of institutionalized apartheid. What has human rights groups all around the world, United Nations, Amnesty International, have they come to try and ease the plight of the Rohingya people?
In recent years, there's been a lot of talk, and even just this year, the US has provided a genocide determination. So things are happening, but of course, it's not enough. And remember, with the coup in Myanmar on the 1st of February last year, the situation for not just Rohingya, but everyone in Myanmar is really dire. And, when it comes to situations that are very difficult for the population, vulnerable groups always suffer a bit more. So, the
Mm.
Rohingya are really going through the worst situation.
Okay, the black wearing black on Monday the 13th. Why
hmm
should people wear black? What's it going to signify? And
hmm
are the authorities going to sit up and take notice? Will it make a difference? Hopefully.
Okay, so the reason why we're asking everyone to wear black is when our organization began 10 years ago, we were looking for a way that everyone could participate that wouldn't be very costly or very difficult to coordinate. And we came up with Black4Rohingya because in the first weeks of June, during 2012, that's when there were massacres in Arakan as well. And the first time we had Black4Rohingya was in 2013, and we wanted to commemorate the people who had died just the year before. And then it's gone on every year with a different theme to focus on. And yes, everyone should definitely, I hope all your listeners take a look down and have a look and make sure that they're wearing black today, because every single thing that we do counts. And you wearing black today might just spark a conversation about why exactly you chose that color and why you chose the hashtag. And it'll be an opportunity for you to go out there and share your knowledge about the Rohingya. Of course, this year the campaign is focused on the rights to education because Rohingya children in Bangladesh, and even those in Myanmar don't really have access to school. And the Bangladeshi government has gone on in recent months to close even the informal schools. And if you look at the situation of the students and the situation of the Rohingya in general, it's so important to give young people and students the opportunity to go through the schooling system to build some kind of future for themselves and their communities.
Okay, I am wearing black just as a matter of interest. The only
Great,
color that
thank
I'm
you.
Uh, only my scarf is a colored scarf, but everything else is black in support of Black for Rohingya. Thank you,
Thank
as
you.
always, for holding up the flag so high. I know you've been hard at work over the past few years. Uh, you're a legal advocate by profession, but you are one of the strongest advocates for the rights of the Rohingya people. Uh, Keep it up. I truly admire you and the group of people that are driving this, support for the Rohingya people right here in South Africa. As always, nice talking to you, Shabnam. Till the next time, Assalamu alaikum to you.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much.
That was Shabnam Mayet, Advocate Shabnam Mayet, that is, and obviously a huge supporter of the freedom of the Rohingya people. The time is exactly 8:40. In a minute or two, we'll be joined by Firoz Borat from Discovery Health regarding their uh, new product that they're launching, and I think something that is really much needed here in South Africa. So do stand by.